Good evening, parents, carers and students. I would like to begin by thanking you for joining us tonight. It's been a privilege to guide the young men of Year 11 over the last 2 years, and I look forward to continuing this journey. A special welcome tonight to our 7 new families who joined the college with their sons. During the evening, Mr. Brennan will deliver his principal's address. Mr. Morrison, Mr. Bullock and Mr. Bombardieri will consider the expectations and academic considerations of Year 11, and we will cover the pastoral dimensions. Before we begin, I would like to go through some housekeeping. Your son has been given an academic care handbook during homeroom. Mr. Bullock will be referring to this document, so it will be a good idea to have it handy. We would ask that one member of your family uses the QR code on the last slide of tonight's presentation to confirm your attendance at the event. And after our acknowledgement of country and prayer, Mr. Brennan will deliver his principal's address.
As the St. Greg's community and Amaris family, we pay respect to the traditional custodians of this land, the Rarawa people. We acknowledge the elders, both past and present, and the emerging leaders of the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people of Australia.
We begin in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Loving God, may the faith you have given us in your Son, Jesus Christ, and the flame of charity ignited in our hearts by the Holy Spirit, reawaken in us the blessed hope for the coming of your kingdom. May your grace transform us as we seek your divine guidance and wisdom on our educational journey. Grant us the insight and understanding needed to navigate the complexities of our study. May your wisdom flow through us, illuminating our path as we strive for academic success with a strong mind and gentle heart. Help us to gain knowledge and understanding that will benefit not only our education, but also our character. We accept your invitation to look beyond, live and experience life more deeply, love more intensely, and care for others more dearly through your grace, our hope. Amen. St. Gregory and St. Marcel and Champagne,
Pray for us.
Mary, our good mother,
Pray for us.
may we always remember to
Pray for one another.
the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Amen.
Well, good evening, parents of our Year 11 students, and in fact our Year 11 students, and welcome to the Year 11 Information Night for 2025. From the outset, can I thank Mr. Bombardieri, all the other presenters, and also the staff who put together this presentation. We felt another night out at this stage of the year probably wasn't beneficial for you or your sons, and obviously this gives you an opportunity to refer back to this as the year goes on. I do want to welcome you to Year 11, this very important year for your son. Certainly, I also want to recognise the work your son and staff have done in order to make sure that your son is in the course that he chose and the course that is right for your son. Certainly, I know at the back end of last year there was still a lot of discussions and negotiations with families about these subjects. And I know there's been a lot of extra work from a lot of people to try and make this happen. As I said to a number of families, it is easier for a school to just box out a number of subjects and put students in it. And whilst our process seems arduous and it's certainly longer, the outcomes for our students certainly seem better. We've also had fewer people give the subject selection choice for your son. So there has been an absolute revamp of the process, and it's something that I am confident will bear fruit next year in 2026 as your son's graduation. I would also like to acknowledge one of our strategic directions for this year, and we'll be talking more about that, and it is developing a culture of excellence and improving student outcomes. And certainly the conversations around subject selection was certainly around that exact point. So I am excited about to see what your sons will be able to achieve. Now they are in Year 11 though, the stakes have been risen even higher. You'll be working very closely with Mr Stephen Bullock, the Academic Care Leader for Year 11 and 12, Mr Bombardieri in the Studies Office and many other staff in order to achieve success. There are, as I mentioned, the stakes higher and the expectations are higher, and this presentation tonight will be able to guide you along the way with a number of those things. There's a few other expectations that you need to be made aware of, and it's particularly one of the groups I'd like to speak to are the boys doing a VET program. VET is a privilege as a subject or a course to be able to study, and certainly does require a lot of organisation on your behalf, working around workplaces and getting work done. And it's certainly that group of students I'll be tracking very closely this year to make sure that it is a package that they are able to be successful in, and they certainly represent the school with pride. I'd just like to leave you with a couple of pieces of advice for you as a parent and also for your sons. First of all is the importance of attendance. I can't stress enough the importance of students across the school, but in particular boys in Year 11 and 12 to attend school every day and to attend classes every day, prepared to do work and to do the best they can. There is obviously great research, and it's obviously quite commonsensical that if you aren't at school, you're not going to learn what the teacher is imparting on you, and you're not going to be in groups discussing it with your colleagues and your peers. So attendance is critical. There'll be times of family emergencies and illness where students will need to be absent, but an overseas holiday isn't one of those. So I'd ask that you do prioritise your son's schooling. There also needs to be a commitment not only to the academics, but also the social life of the school, the spiritual life of the school, and the co-curricular life of the school. Our school ducks from last year, Josh Ryan, spoke about the importance of living in the moment, and that's more than just the academics, though they are obviously our important reason. It is important that we also remain positive and work as hard as we can at all times, and work on our own resilience. Allow your sons to have difficult evenings with study. Allow them at times they may have to stay up later than they needed to or wanted to because they haven't been organised. These life lessons are critical in your sons' not only success at school but moving on into the next stage of their life. I would also encourage your sons and yourselves to seek as much support from the college as you require. I've mentioned Mr Bullock and Mr Bombardieri. There's also a number of other people that can help, including your head of year. We've got a good set of counsellors and our transition and pathways coordinator in Mr Profilio this year. And then finally, it's important to nourish your own soul and your own mind and to take time to make sure you look after yourself as well. Just in this year of hope, and as a Marist school we're looking at being pilgrims of hope and looking beyond, I'd like to leave you with a quote from St Thomas Aquinas, who describes hope as being born from the desire for something good that is difficult but possible to attain. And that ties in very nicely with your son's academic aspirations this year. There is struggle in hope. Hope gives us work to do. But hope also transcends our personal perspectives and aspirations. We do not hope alone. Hope requires companions, people who want our good and who want to help us along the way. And to me, there's no clearer expression of this understanding of hope than here at St Gregory's College. Again, thank you for taking the time to listen to the presentation tonight. I encourage you to continue to communicate with the college on any issues around your son's well-being, but also his academics, and I wish you a good evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Brennan. Good evening, parents and Year 11 students, the graduating HSC class of 2026. It doesn't seem that long ago that we spoke in a similar context to provide guidance and support for your subject selection and the processes needed to commence your Stage 6 educational journey. Tonight, the focus has changed. This is it. You have now begun your journey. So now we focus on what that journey will be like and what you need to do to be successful. I often refer to Stage 6 as being non-compulsory education. You have made a conscious choice to be here and to continue your education at St. Greg's. I love this quote from Brian Herbert. The capacity to learn is a gift, the ability to learn is a skill, but the willingness to learn is a choice, and you have all made that choice. You would have heard many of us speak about the St. Gregory's Agile graduate and perhaps wondering why we keep referring to this term Agile. We know that agility refers to the capacity to respond to change and challenges with action, vigour, flexibility and optimism. We have certainly experienced this in the last few years. Agile graduates will possess the skills and attributes needed for success in Stage 6. At St. Greg's, we recognise that successful learners are relational, resilient, resourceful, reflective and responsible. Relational relates to the relationships that you will have with others. To be successful in Stage 6, you will need to collaborate with others, ask for help, value and respect the opinions of others, work in a team, be an active listener, give and accept feedback in a positive manner. Success is not a given. It is obtained through hard work and commitment. To be successful, you need to be resilient. You need to keep trying your best even when things seem hard. Ask for help, set SMART goals, value the process of learning rather than focusing on the outcome, and exercise self-control and even when you feel frustrated. It is important that you are an active learner in your education. This means that you need to seek information, you need to look for opportunities and alternatives, you need to know what you can already do and also look for opportunities to solve new problems. You need to continue to ask questions, try new things, seek feedback and show initiative. To improve, you must be aware of your current. You need to use feedback, set goals, make plans for improvement, know your own strengths and weaknesses, and above all, you need to know what is required to achieve success. You are now a senior student at St. Greg's. You are setting the example for all of the junior students and modelling what is expected. So you need to show up and be ready to learn. You need to be an active learner. You need to find your why, and you need to take responsibility for your own success. Success is never accidental. Success is a product of hard work, commitment, and dedication to your goals. Every one of you will have a different success story. Make sure that you are always proud of your own. I will leave you with this favourite quote of mine. Education is our passport for the future, for tomorrow belongs to those that prepare for it today. So you need to make every day count. I will now pass you over to Mr. Bombardieri to discuss the academic expectations in Year 11.
Thank you, Mrs. Morrison, and thank you for joining us for our information evening. Last year, our conversations with you at information evenings and at course selection evenings was all about preparing for Stage 6. Now that you have achieved that goal, our conversation shifts to succeeding in the HSC. Tonight, I will spend time speaking about some of the key elements of your HSC and about your mindset. To make sure that each student makes the most of their remaining time, the college expects the following: that each student makes their best effort, that they follow instructions in the Year 11 academic handbook, that they hand in assessments on time and follow exam rules, that they follow illness misadventure procedures, that they avoid malpractice and complete all my own work, that they complete their NESA HSC confirmation and login into Students Online. To be eligible for the HSC, each student in New South Wales must satisfactorily complete Year 10, complete the All My Own Work course, pass HSC minimum standards tests, and sit for and make a serious attempt at the required HSC exams. Students must satisfactorily complete 12 units in Year 11 and 10 units in Year 12. They also need to complete at least 6 units of board-developed courses. For students planning on going to university, you will also need to study 10 units of board-developed courses in Year 12. For all courses, students are expected to demonstrate diligence and sustained effort. Beyond this, to perform your best in the HSC, you are also relying on the students around you to perform well, so it is important that each class works as a group. While there is internal competition for each student to be ranked as highly as possible in their own cohort, the most important competition is between the school and the rest of the state. The better our school performs in the overall competition, the higher our HSC results will be. Expectations for VET courses. There are some important expectations for students completing vocational education and training courses. Firstly, all students must complete their mandatory work placement hours. We are governed by our RTO and by NESA, and students will be determined in the course if they are unable to complete their work placement. Students who are completing multiple VET courses will need to complete multiple sets of work placements, and some of these may need to be done during the student's own time during holidays. To gain their TAFE credential, students also need to complete their competencies. This sometimes becomes a problem if a student is absent frequently and falls behind on these competencies. Particularly students who are also involved in an SBAT or TVET will need to ensure that they are present to complete their key competencies. Mrs. Clark will spend more time outlining VET expectations during her upcoming evening online. Practical components. There are a variety of courses with practical components. For these courses, there will be times when students will need to spend extra time completing their major works. For instance, in industrial technology, students may need to stay back on an afternoon to continue working on their project to ensure that it is completed by the deadline. Visual arts students may need to take their body of work home to complete parts of it or come in during the holidays. For society and culture, the PIP is something that students will need to research and complete interviews for, often outside school hours. For the HSC, NESA sets the deadline and it is strictly enforced. Students and teachers also need to sign a document indicating that the work is all their own. Your HSC exams are just 7 terms away, and it is important to understand just how different Year 11 is. Firstly, you have a fresh start. Whether things went well in Year 10 or not, the slate has been swept clean and you now have a chance to put your best foot forward and start again. Take advantage of the new beginning because they don't come around that often. And like all worthwhile endeavours, the more you contribute to your education, the more you will get out of it. So we encourage students to take every opportunity that comes their way. Year 11 will require a different mindset from our students. You will need to be focused on growing and developing mastery in your subjects rather than just complying with the teacher's instructions. You will need to make your best attempt each time to be ready for the HSC. You will need to be proactive in your study and completion of assessment tasks. You'll also need to value your relationship with your teachers and other students. You will need to practice the Marist sense of family spirit here. I would encourage each student to engage in conversations about these 2 questions with their families. What are your goals for the HSC? And what do you need to do to achieve these goals? Your son doesn't need to have all the answers right now, but it is important for them to start thinking about the future. Finally, your son is in good hands in their preparation for the HSC. If there are any academic issues, please see subject teachers in the first instance, then academic care leaders for individual subjects' concerns, or Mr.
thank you for joining us this evening. My name is Mr. Stephen Bullock, and I'll be your son's academic care leader for the next 2 years. As we move through the evening, it's critically important that your son and yourselves are aware of our role, along with all the other presenters, and our support system at school for your son. At the heart of the academic care at the college are our student dimensions, which refer to academic agency, academic strengths, and academic skills. The academic care program has developed to include building students' general capabilities, having conversations around growth and self-efficacy, working on the character strengths, focusing on learning, planning and study, and finally, understanding the importance of habits of the mind. My role in academic care involves managing known leave, goal setting, stage-specific group presentations, discussions around course selections, liaising with students, staff and parents, organisation and time management skills, looking at NAPLAN results in HSC analysis, academic newsletter items, managing exams and extraordinary situations. Students can access my help by self-referral. They can be identified by myself or other staff members, including year leaders, classroom teachers and support staff, or you can touch base with me yourselves, parents. Some of the areas I will focus on include how the HSC works, which was a presentation delivered last week to the students. We will move on to goal setting and time management skills in the next couple of weeks. We will look at studying for the HSC, academic expectations, maximising their time in senior study. We will undertake report evaluation. Students will have an understanding of the ATAR. We will have discussions about changing courses at the end of the year and move into university options whilst touching on growth mindset and study skills with Elevate. With reference to assessment tasks, these are an important part of Stage 6. For the HSC, 50% of each course is based on school assessments. For this reason, NESA has strict rules around the assessment procedures, which we will outline tonight. In September, students will complete their Year 11 end of course examinations, which will be in preparation for next year's trials and HSC. In the back of the handbook, students will receive assessment schedules for each course, including the date of each assessment task. Students will find that there are times with relatively few assessments and times where there are a number of assessments at a similar time. The key is for students to prepare during the lighter times so that they are ready during the busy times. It is always a good idea to have these dates on the calendar so you can check in with your son to see how they're doing during the times of busy assessments. With regard to illness and misadventure, these procedures are designed to assist students if they are unwell during an assessment or experience a misadventure such as a death in the family, a car accident or natural disaster. For an illness, visit a medical professional and obtain a medical certificate. Students then complete a student assessment form, which is located in Student Services. Digital forms are also sent to students and are found on the Central Parent Student Portal and on SkyBlue. Students are to submit the form earlier, if possible, but no later than 8:05 on the first morning they return to school. Mr. Bombardieri will email approval and instructions to the student, their parents, teachers, leaders of learning, year leader, and the academic leader. If your son will be absent from school for more than 5 days, you will need to seek permission from Mr. Brennan by emailing Mrs. Stott. Please also copy me into that email so that I can work with your son on submitting a student leave form. If, as part of the leave, your son will miss an assessment task, they will also need to submit a student assessment form. For assessments, leave will be approved for college sports representation, state and national pathways, and college student leadership events. These events will be on the college calendar, but not for holidays or events not listed on the college calendar. Malpractice involves a student receiving unfair advantage in an assessment. Essentially, malpractice involves plagiarism, copying someone else's ideas, collusion, receiving assistance from others in an assessment, including AI, and any breach of exam or assessment instructions. Our students have completed the NESA program, All My Own Work. This course is completed by all students in New South Wales in Year 11 and Year 12, and it focuses on the concept of malpractice and academic scholarship. Principles of malpractice are also outlined in our academic handbook, as are the rules around students not submitting work and malpractice. These include the student receiving 0 for the task, an N-award warning letter to be sent home, and afternoon detention. Students will still need to complete the task or to recomplete it. It would be advisable for students to hand in their work on the day, even if it is not quite finished. In regard to N determinations, an N-award warning letter is the college's way of letting parents and the student know that the course is not being satisfactorily completed. These give students the chance to fix the problem so they can get back on the right track with their work. These warning letters are not just given for assessments either. They are given at any time where students have not demonstrated diligence and sustained effort in coursework. In the letter, students will be told exactly what didn't go to plan, they will be told what they need to do to fix things, and they will be given a time frame. If the problem has still not been fixed in the recommended time, the college will issue a second warning letter. The college will then set up a meeting with the student and parents. And finally, if the student will be N-determined if they receive a third warning letter. They will be deemed to not have satisfactorily completed the course. The consequence is that the course cannot be counted towards the student's HSC. This might mean that they have not completed the 12 units necessary to progress into the HSC year, or in the HSC year, it may mean that the student does not receive their HSC. The course will also not feature on the student's record of school achievement. This is obviously a situation we want to avoid, which is why I'm spending some time explaining the process tonight. If your son receives an N-award warning letter, it is a good idea for your son to make contact with their teacher and work with them to solve the problem. In regard to our home preparation, each evening, the recommended time to spend on homework would be 20 to 30 minutes per subject. Students in Year 11 will be spending time on homework, assessments, study for an average of 2 to 4 hours per night. This may increase to 3 to 6 hours on weekends and can be anywhere between that 12 and 36 hour period per week, depending on the student's course of study and the assessment tasks at the current time. Again, if there's anything I can help you with from an academic care point of view, if you would like to contact me, please email me. Students are aware of where to find me in the Marion Centre, and they can refer themselves to me at recess, at lunch, via email, so I can organise to catch up with them throughout the school time. Now I'll welcome Mr. Goodhue, your Year 11 coordinator, to address you. Thank you.
So the theme this year is Strength in Unity. It has 5 main areas we're trying to promote. Number 1, promote collaboration and teamwork. Number 2, foster a strong sense of belonging. Number 3, preparing students for leadership. Number 4, building a supportive network for our senior students. And number 5, emphasising those keys of respect and inclusion. Year 11 is a crucial year where you lay the foundations for your HSC success. The skills you develop now will directly impact your preparation and performance in Year 12. With greater responsibility comes the need for focus, discipline, and commitment to your studies. Success in Year 11 is a collaborative effort. As you've heard tonight, our team works closely to support students academically, guiding them in exploring future career pathways and providing the pastoral care essential for a successful HSC journey. The Year 11 homeroom team brings a wealth of experience across various subjects, combined with a deep commitment to student wellbeing. You won't find a more dedicated group of teachers ready to support, guide, and encourage you every step of the way. We are here for you, so please don't hesitate to reach out, have a chat, and seek support whenever you need it. Along with the increase in responsibility comes an increase in expectations. As senior students of the college, we assume that you are here because you value your education and you are committed to your learning. It is expected that everyone here will work to achieve your personal best while allowing others to do the same. And it's expected that you will treat every person with courtesy and listen to others with mutual respect. You will maintain a safe and secure school environment and take responsibility of your behaviours and actions. It is expected that you will model and support the college's high standards and expectations, and that you'll wear your uniform with pride. In doing all of this, you will notice a change in the way you interact with your teachers. The bond you create over the next 2 years with each of your classroom teachers will extend beyond that of just a maths teacher or just an English teacher to something of more of a mentor and guide, and someone who will inspire you to fulfill your potential and your dreams. In being treated as a young adult, you will also expected to behave like one. The way in which you respond to these challenges will begin to define you as an individual and prepare you for what is to come after school. The following is a brief outline of what we have planned to cover in our pastoral care sessions this year. An introduction to senior school, getting involved in the senior schooling process. The SEER program begins with 50 of our cohort already involved. Building positive relationships with teachers and peers. Respect, what it takes to be a man. Finding my place as a young adult. Resilience and mental health. How to manage and prevent stress. The importance of sleep and exercise. Cyberbullying and child safeguarding. Homeroom challenges to help build our grade culture. And leadership. We'll also be lucky enough to have some old boys coming to talk to our students. We've also organised the Elevate Education Group, which will be presented later this term from a group of HSC students. They tap into the many aspects of mental health and academic components of the HSC journey. And we also have a You Turn the Wheel program, which is a full-day driver education program targeted at Year 11 students. In Term 4, we'll be off to Mittagong for our 3-day retreat. This is a compulsory and significant event for our young men and a turning point for many. It will be a chance for reflection, self-growth, and an opportunity to build our relationships as a grade. If you ask any old boy what their fondest memories of St. Greg's are, almost everyone will have the Year 12 retreat on their list. I ask kindly that you please block out the retreat week in your diary. This is in Term 4, Week 4, the 3rd of November to the 7th of November. I ask that you please don't make any doctor's appointments or any other commitments during this important and rewarding week of school. Year 11 is your opportunity to demonstrate leadership, with student leader elections beginning in Term 3. So now it's time to step up and get involved. Leadership isn't just about titles, it's how you present yourself, support your peers, and engage with the younger students and staff. Every one of you has a role to play in leading the college, and together you will shape its future. Gentlemen, I challenge you to reflect on how you can leave a positive mark on this college with your remaining time here. Countless opportunities await. Through co-curricular activities, whole school events like carnivals and feast days, your interactions with staff, peers and younger students, and of course, your commitment to your studies. I encourage you to immerse yourself in all that this college has to offer. My hope is that every student here tonight finds a way to contribute beyond the classroom and embrace at least one aspect of college life. As a grade, I challenge you to work as one team over the next 2 years. Look around you. There are 150 young men who you'll share this senior journey with. These are the same young men who you'll stand beside on your graduation day in just 19 months. Singing your final sub to womb, arms linked, with maybe some tears in your eyes. So check in with your mates, be there for one another, and celebrate each other's successes. Whether it's on the sporting field, in debating, music, public speaking, or in the classroom. Stand on the sidelines, cheer each other on, and acknowledge every achievement, big or small. Encourage each other to step up and have a go, and most importantly, leave no man behind. Your strength as a group will be defined how you support, challenge, and uplift each other. This is how you'll build lifelong friendships and forge a network that will stay with you beyond your school years. So I leave you with this question. How will Year 12 2026, the centenary year, leave its mark on the college? Don't wait for Term 4 when you officially step into leadership roles. Your leadership starts now. The legacy of this year group starts now. I look forward to working alongside each of you in the time ahead. My door is always open should you need support, and parents, carers, please don't hesitate to contact via phone or email if needed. Thank you very much. I will now pass you on to Mr. Profilio, our Leader of Learning, Careers and Transition, who will consider the careers dimension of Stage 6.
Good evening, my name's Andrew Profilio and I'm going to be the Head of Transitions and Pathways for 2025, and I'm going to run through some of the stuff that we're going to have on offer this year at St. Greg's.
I'm excited to be working in this space at St. Greg's in 2025, supporting both you and your sons as they navigate their career paths. My role is to be a point of contact for career-related advice, whether that's selecting and changing subjects, exploring post-school options, or considering further study, apprenticeships, or employment. One of the main opportunities that I have to work with your sons is going to be through the College Pastoral Program. This allows us to integrate career education into their schooling experience, helping them make informed decisions about their future. A new initiative for 2025 is going to be our Lunchtime Careers Talks. While in previous years we've run the St. Gregory's College Careers Expo, this event will not be taking place in 2025. Instead, we'll invite guest speakers to the college every Monday during lunch. There's a schedule currently being finalised, and I expect to release it in the next few weeks, with the first presentation scheduled for week 9. These talks will feature a diverse range of presenters, including university representatives, industry experts, and group training organisations. Students will receive updates via email, so it's important they check their inbox regularly and attend the session that aligns best with their interests. As in 2024, the college will continue offering micro-credential courses in 2025. These are one-day courses delivered by external trainers. They're designed to provide students with valuable skills and credentials that may assist them in future employment, particularly in casual or entry-level roles. Each course will have a limited number of places, around 20 to 25 students per class, and it will involve a cost. Communication about these courses, including registration details, will be sent via email. So again, it's essential that students stay on top of their emails to avoid missing out. Before I finish, I just wanted to highlight this careers resource that we have here. You'll see it's called stgregscareers.com.au. This website will be an integral part of the careers program, and it's going to be a key tool for career planning that we're going to use. It offers career profiles and quizzes to help students reflect on their strengths and explore particular career options, information on pathways, including universities, apprenticeships and employment. And there's this page here, you can see it's actually a dedicated section for parents, which I highly recommend you explore. It's a great starting point when it comes to navigating the maze of post-school options. It tells you about different phrases, different terminologies, through to a good fact sheet when it comes to starting out to having these conversations on careers with your son. I really look forward to working with your sons this year and ensuring they have access to the best opportunities for their future. Gents, my final reminder, please stay on top of your emails. I'd hate for you to miss out on an opportunity simply because you overlooked an important message. Thank you, and I look forward to this great year ahead.
ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for listening tonight. My pleasure to talk to you about boarding. So why would you consider boarding for your son as he enters into his senior schooling years? The simple reason is that boarding works. So we offer a structured study routine, 2 to 3 hours every night. It can often be more than 3 hours if your son's busy and he's got lots of assessment tasks. Our tutors will stay on and support him to sometimes as late as 10 o'clock at night, 10:30, helping him get through his work and making sure that he's doing the best that he can do. That program runs Monday through to Thursday, and there's tutors available every night of those weeks throughout the school term. We provide a really good and consistent, solid routine for the boys from after school, when school finishes at 3 o'clock, all the way through to bedtime. And that routine obviously studies at the heart of that, but it also includes all your dinner and your meals. It includes structured afternoon sport. It includes access to the school facilities, and includes obviously some free time, which is really important for the boys as well. Sleep and technology is a really big one to keep people, to keep teenage boys on target. And sleep, obviously, we provide them the opportunity to have 9 hours of uninterrupted sleep. We take all of their technology, whether they're in year 7 all the way through to year 12. No student is allowed to have his phone in his room at night. They all get handed in. All laptops get handed in from year 7 all the way through to year 10. Year 11 and 12 students are allowed to hang on to their laptops if they need them for school purposes and work purposes. So it gives them the opportunity to get a really good night's sleep and to make sure that they're functioning and fully functional, ready to go at school the next day. Boarding also provides the opportunity for personal growth and independence. And you know, when you move out of the family home, you don't really have any choice but to grow up. So moving into a boarding environment really gives that opportunity for students to step out of their comfort zone and to try and grow. And one of the biggest things of feedback that we get from families is just how quickly that their son changes when they move into a boarding environment. In terms of tutoring, so you'll see on the screen there, so there's a huge amount of subjects that we offer in relation to our tutoring. We use all of our ex-students that get band 6s and above and ATARs over 90, our high achievers. We get tutors from other schools as well that are similar, people that have just recently done the HSC. We also have academic staff that work in boarding and that are available to tutor. So we cover the full range of subjects, so that will obviously be something that would benefit your son also. There's various options in boarding. So we have full-time boarding, and 80% of our students are full-time boarders, but the other 20% are weekly boarders, and they fall into one of two categories. So we either have weekly boarding, which is dropping your son in on Sunday for mass and then setting his week up, or coming in Monday morning and they'll stay till Friday afternoon, or we have extended or 4-day boarding, where you come in on a Monday and you go home on a Thursday afternoon. So you come in after school on Monday and then you go home after school on a Thursday. All meals and activities are included. It's totally flexible. So, you know, if you're thinking about your son coming into weekly boarding but you're worried because he's got swimming training or rugby league training or whatever it is, some sort of external commitment, we're happy to work with you with that and work around that, and have a conversation in relation to how that might look for your son. As I said, all meals and activities are included. It gives them the opportunity to try. We offer a free trial, so you can come in for a week and try it and see whether it does work and see whether he does enjoy it. But it is a program that will work, and it will provide your son with structure and routine to try and be successful over the course of his senior schooling life. We have had some success with our boarding students, getting really good results in the HSC, which are only just realised, or were only just presented to the school at the recent academic assembly. So it was fantastic to have students involved in that as well. So please, if you're interested in boarding, you'll see up on the screen there my phone number, my direct phone number. You can get in contact with me through email or my direct phone number, or get in contact with our college registrar, Miss Arachi. Happy to take you around for a tour and discuss any circumstances for you. It is surprisingly affordable. There are various ways that we can make sure that this can be something that you can afford, to try and give your son an opportunity to do really well in his senior years of schooling. Thanks for listening, and enjoy the rest of your night.
been a significant amount of information communicated. The overarching message is that Year 11 will be filled with new opportunities for our students across the college. Thank you to all of our presenters this evening. And just some reminders to close our meeting tonight. Please remember to look over the handbook, and please also indicate your attendance using the QR code on the next slide. Thank you for attending, and have a great night.